I'm Loydeen Stengel.
I'm Gerald Stengel.
I was originally from Western, graduated in 1960. I went to Lincoln and worked at the telephone company for a couple years. And I said I was never going to marry a farmer because my dad was a farmer. And he'd get us up at 6 o'clock in the morning and put on those wet, muddy tennis shoes to go move pipe. I hated it. And he said, well, if you got a date tonight, you better get out there or you're not going tonight. So I said, oh, okay. I met Jerry at a basketball game in Milligan. It was a tournament. Western was playing Shickley, and I was a cheerleader. And the Shickley guys sat behind the Western Pep Club, and we sort of made eye contact. And then he met me at the door when we were leaving. He says, will you be at Ohio tonight for the dance? And I said, I'll be there. I had no idea how I was going to get there, but I was going to be there. And that's where we met. Yeah, and I've been in Shickley since we got married.
I've been in Shickley all my life, except for the time I was in the service. Otherwise, I've been here all the time, and I've been farming and raising livestock all the time.
I've been in Shickley for 62 years since we've been married. We had 5 children, Rick, Jody, Jerry Ann, Corey, and Chris.
It's been a good life. I've been doing what I want to do. Dad was at Sutton first, and then he moved at the other home place, and that was in 41 when I was 3 years old. And Mel Spankston was a history teacher at the University of Nebraska, owned the farm that Dad moved on. And they had an orchard on it, and he would come from Lincoln every weekend and take care of that. And then Dad finally got that bought. I got one grandchild who wants me to write down everything I did from the time I went to school and just keep it going. Mom sent me to school when I was 4 years old, and I went to country school. And then when I graduated from the 8th grade, I come to Shickley. And all my friends was in that class behind me. So I went back a grade when I come to town because I was too young. But like Donnie Jacques and all those other kids, they went back a grade too. So it didn't help me.
So who were some of your classmates?
Merlin Yoder, Howard Berkey, Howard Johnson, Karen Merriman, Sharon Stider, and Wanda Roush. Eugene Springer, there was 12.
Okay, well you did pretty good.
Frankie Zeman, and I wanted to go to college, and Dad said, I ain't got the money to send you. So I worked for John Else. I bought a baler with my brother and a truck. And we baled hay and done trucking. And then when we got some ground to farm, then we kind of gave up the baling and the trucking and fed cattle, 30 sows every 6 weeks, and fed all the pigs out. And irrigation was a big job then, because now the pivots, that's awful simple.
That's the only thing I've ever known. Yeah, we are farmers and also raise livestock. Jerry more or less the hogs, and Dale took care of the cattle. And I remember loading up the kids. Okay, we had 5. So they each took 3 hogs to the fair, and we'd load up the hogs and everything else that you had to take along to the fair. And I told him once, I said, I feel like Ma and Pa Kettle going to the fair.
But the 4-H was different then. I made my kids raise their own pigs. I bought an A-shaped hog shed, and I gave them a sow, and they had to take the pigs that they raised. I don't remember how we decided who got which pig. Corey was the last one to pick, and he picked the pig, and he got the state tournament, and he got grand champion at the state fair.
That's the only time we ever won state champion pig. Activities I've enjoyed are the school activity, boy and girl sports, playing cards, and dancing. When we were younger, we used to go to a lot of dances. Celine Center,
Ohio.
Milligan. Milligan had the best dance floor.
And we used to go up to the Atlanta Ballroom in Hastings. Not Hastings, Grand Island.
And then didn't Clay Center have a
Clay Center.
auditorium?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fairfield did too. There was dance practically every weekend.
And Milligan would sometimes have Lawrence Welk.
There was a
And
band.
then there was a band here from Bruning. It was a lot of the music teachers. And dancing is sort of a lost art, I think, anymore, but we enjoyed that. Well, until I was asked to serve on the board, I hadn't heard a whole lot about the Shickley Community Foundation. But I did learn, and I thought, oh my gosh, where have I been? But anyway, I learned a lot by belonging to that organization. And it's a good organization. Every community, I think, should have one. With a group of, everybody, people to help support it. Because of the Shickley Foundation, a lot of other communities have started a community foundation.
Yes, the Biggert family. They put the library in town. They had this feed store over here. They own a lot of ground, and they got the elevator. I think they've done a great job.
I just mentioned all the different organizations that help Shickley be a better place. We've got, I know, the Legion Auxiliary, the Commercial Club, a big little town organization, and I know there's others too. But if it weren't for those people on those organizations and coming up with different ideas for our community, I think they're all involved. I would describe our community as all welcoming, a clean, well-kept community, and several businesses in good standing. And my favorite memories from living around Shickley are how well all the people get along and help each other out.
There's very few communities that get along like Shickley. We got 4 churches, and all 4 churches get along together.
During Easter time, before Easter, at the ecumenical get-together, we have church 1 week at each different church. Methodist, Mennonite, Catholic, and Lutheran. But I think it's good for the community that our churches work together. Young people need to realize education is important. Working at what you want to accomplish and helping your neighbor. My piece of advice, be honest, trustworthy, and loving.
We got to all work together, and everyone, good or bad, we got to be friendly with, and we want to keep Shickley the way it is today.